My good friends from Trent Thunder. He's a baseball player. He plays catcher. He played with Trent Thunder. His name is Craig Corliss. He played for UMass, also Boston. He's from the Boston area, so he played a lot. He has a lot of background in baseball. Played for Trent Thunder, UMass, and a lot of great teams he played with. And we're gonna get to his career so far. And actually, he was at the winter meetings this year, Nashville, Tennessee, meeting with all the teams, and we'll get to all of that, the meetings and everything. And please stay tuned. This is gonna be a great story, great interview. Craig, first of all, it's been a while since I've seen you. The last time I saw you, we were covering Trent Thunder during the summertime. What a great run you guys had too with that team. And but first of all, thank you for joining. And I interviewed you already in person too, so we'll get to so our fans will know more about your story now on this platform. But how are you and your family doing? And welcome to the show.
Hey, it's great to see you again. Yeah, last time I saw you was the championship game in Trenton. Came up a little short, but we had a great group of guys and a great team. And yeah, I came back in after the Trenton Thunder season ended. I came back home. I've been here in Boston. I've been finishing grad school my last semester. My last finals tomorrow, and I've been traveling a little bit. I went to Nashville, Tennessee for winter meetings, and then I've been just kind of working out and getting ready for my next opportunity. And I'm a free agent right now, and kind of figuring out where I'm going to go and what's in store for me with workouts wise, and what's in store for me coming up in this coming year. And it's been really exciting stuff. And it's been good to be home as a baseball player, usually never home that much. So the time that you get to spend home here is very limited, but it's always good. It's always good.
Yeah, so tell our fans, what was the experience like? Take us back to the first moment when you got the opportunity with the Trent Thunder, and then obviously talking to Jeff Hurley and all the front office and Trent Thunder. Take us back to when you got the first opportunity to play with Trent Thunder.
Yeah, so I believe a lot of athletes have to have a really good support system around them, and I'm very lucky to have that. My mentor and trainer, Ryan Hannigan, played in the big leagues for 12 years: Cincinnati Reds, Tampa Bay Rays, Boston Red Sox, and then Colorado Rockies. And then he retired in 2018. I'm lucky to have him in my life because he's been training me and like guiding me and giving me a lot of examples on what to do, how to go about certain things. So me and him were talking one day after my season ended up, and we were just wondering like, oh, what's going to go on with the draft this year and what's going to go on with my other opportunities in the summer. And we were talking, and then I had a conversation with my agent, Parker Burnell. He works for AOS. He has a couple draft league guys, and we were talking. Us three were kind of talking about where to kind of go, what's my future, and what's going to happen down the road. And he mentioned the draft league, how it'd be a great opportunity for me. And I was playing in Boston at the time, training for the Lexington Blue Sox in the Inner City League, which is a wonderful, wonderful organization. It's held by Rick DeAngelis. He's a great guy, one of my really close mentors. I was playing for his team and training with Ryan Hannigan every day, kind of getting ready. And Parker called me one day and was like, "Hey, I think you're going to have a chance to go to the draft league." So I was like, "Awesome!" I jumped at the opportunity. I got assigned to go to Trenton Thunder. I went down, and it was a great first year professional baseball. Our clubhouse, as you know, was a great clubhouse. All the guys were really cool, a lot of cool stories. Everybody was we had a really good team environment, and everyone was really like professional baseball kind of be tough because everyone's kind of in it trying to, for themselves. And this is what they want to do and blah, blah, blah. But we really mixed well together from the pitching staff to the coaches to the front office to everybody. It was just like a really cool environment to get there every day, and it made you as a player want to be better. And I really enjoyed my time there. Jeff Manto was really good to me. We had really cool conversations about when he was a player, and kind of learned from him what he looks for as a talent evaluator. And I just kind of really grew as a player and a person. And Darren Ford's one of the best. He was a great first base coach for us and played in the big leagues, won a ring. And just listening to him, little small things that he was seeing about, the swing or base running or anything, it was really cool to pick his brain. And Matt Sweeney was awesome. Matt Sweeney and I worked together a lot. He was obviously the pitching coach in Trenton, and he was a guy that he had a great career himself. He's a local guy down there, and just how his mindset and how he attacks hitters and his game planning and learning stuff with him sitting there, and his just open dialogue of just game planning for developing pitchers was really awesome. And I was happy to be working with him and to be a part of that, and how he listened to my voice and saw what I was seeing in live time during the game, and we elaborated, and the pitching staff did quite well this summer, which is really important, obviously for me as a catcher and obviously the pitching coach. So that was awesome. And then Adonis Smith. Adonis was one of the best. He was a hitting coach. Great guy, and he helped me out with my swing and just positive, always keeping it loose, and he did a great job for us this summer.
Yeah, so you mentioned mentors, and I have four mentors myself in the sports industry. Lennon Marshall, Ryan Field, Amy Trask, and Tina Servasu. And how important is how talk tell our fans about Ryan Hannigan? Obviously, major league experience, great catcher. So talk about what's that mean for you to have a former MLB player giving you advice all the time and helping you out at the same position. So how important is that for you, and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it means the world to me, honestly. Like I was in high school in 2017, 2018. He was catching the Boston Red Sox, and I was a high school kid. And I knew Ryan before when he played for the Cincinnati Reds. He had a great career in Cincinnati. I was really proud of what he did out there, and the fans loved him. I loved him. I was at winter meetings, and fans from Cincinnati were coming up to him left and right and talking about all his experiences there in Cincinnati. But for me and Ryan to have the relationship that we have as almost friends, mentor, and just giving me how would I handle this advice, how would I handle that, like just giving me advice, working with me in my game mentally, telling me and just guiding me through this whole process. And I just think having like a support like system in place of him, as long as training me and giving me advice and mentally helping me out and showing me, this is what you got to do here, this is what you got to do there, and just kind of have someone that understands what I'm going through and has been there, done that, I think is really crucial for me to have. And at the end of the day, it's my career. I got to do it. But just to listen to how he would handle situations or the training, and so I think is invaluable. And having for any athlete doesn't or any sport, it's just having a good support system in place and people. I think it's unbeatable. You need that. You really do. You really need that. And I'm lucky to have a great agent and a great mentor. And luckily I played for some great coaches along the way in college and summer ball and even my first pro season. So I've been very fortunate with that. So that's been awesome for me.
Yeah, so we already have a fan question on my speaker app on the phone. One of our fans wants to know some of your best moments so far in your career.
Hon- I'd say honestly, some of my best moments so far would probably playing for UMass Boston, and then playing, coming back home. I'm a Massachusetts kid, coming back home to play in the city of Boston, where I'm from, and it meant a lot to me. I went away for 3 years and played at Siena College in New York.
Hmm.
And when I was gone, I didn't really get to come back home. I didn't really realize how much I loved home and everything. And just to come back and play with a lot of guys that I grew up with, and just being in the city, being so close, have my parents come down the road, watch every game, and kind of being around my cousins and friends and everything, just playing there was really important to me. And then honestly, I think my Trenton season was my first professional season. It really meant a lot to me to be in there, come in there and have some success, and just kind of start finding myself on this professional baseball journey. And that was probably, let's say both those two experiences were really important to me.
Yeah, so we are live with catcher Greg Corliss. Please tune in, ask more questions on the phone. We'll answer your questions also. Talk about obviously we had the opportunity to cover Trent Thunder in person, and we my second year covering you guys and loved it. I loved the 2 years so far, and unfortunately the rosters change all the time in the MLB draft league. But for you, what was it like just to be with that team? You had a great pitching staff with like Luke Redding, and you had Tommy Bonacasio, you had Wes Gafford, you had Cade LaCour, a great pitching staff. What was it like for you to be part of that staff and being with Angel Mendoza and also Roberto?
Yeah, it was awesome. My goal every single time that I start a game is trying to help the pitcher on game planning for the game, but also helping them through on the fly. You're in the first inning and you need to figure out how to get this guy out with a guy in scoring position, and just kind of, you don't want to expose his off-speed pitches too early because then the opposing team will start getting reads on them. So my whole strategy as a catcher is trying to help win games, and I want to do that through my game calling, but also just my behind the plate, realizing what's this hitter trying to do, kind of feel that out, and just developing confidence in my pitcher that every single time when he needs to make a pitch, I'm right there and he can make that pitch or throw that ball in the dirt. I'll make the play, and just provide a lot of confidence for him, and just be there in the mix of game calling and trying to win games. 'Cause at the end of the day, everyone's trying to win games, and if I can be a winning player back there, make plays that I have to do, stick balls, block balls, hit, whatever I need to do, I'll do. But I think just being involved with the pitching staff that we had, it just the development of the guys, or just every single outing they went out there, these guys were getting better, better. Their secondary pitches were sharper, their command was better, and I think that just speaks well of the whole group itself, from the players doing their work in between their side sessions and their extra conditioning, extra throwing, whatever that is, along with learning from their past mistakes, and Matt Sweeney overseeing that, and just experience. And every time you're getting out there on the mound, it's experience. You're growing. You're understanding the league. You're understanding the hitters in the league. You're understanding what's working well from you, and just honestly sitting back, watching some of these guys grow and being in the fight with them was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah, and speaking of those pitchers, talk about three of them: Luke Redding, and then Brendan O'Neill, and then Jonah Herney. I feel like during the season when I covered them in person, and I interviewed all three of them in person, also, what did you like about their games when they came on the mound? Because I feel like they dominated pretty much half their starts, and then
Yeah,
Brendan O'Neill coming out of the bullpen, obviously.
Yeah, I'll start with Brendan. Brendan was awesome out of the back end. He was a guy that, he could get it up there 93, 94, 95, and he'd come right at you. He's a big righty. He's had a lot of experience down at Seton Hall. He's a guy that can really throw the ball. He can throw the ball by you at any single time. His command was awesome. He had good secondary stuff. And Brendan was a guy that every single time wanted the ball in the biggest moments. And he had a great year for us. He was one of our keys in the back end, and he helped us win a lot of games. Jonah's this crafty lefty that can make a lot of pitches, works very quick, everything around the zone, and he has great off-speed pitches, good fastball. He was really solid for us, and he won a lot of games. He had an excellent year. He really did. He had an unbelievable year. And then your third one was Luke, you said?
Yeah, Luke Redding. Yeah,
I caught Luke a lot actually throughout the stretch. Luke's this left-handed, kind of reminds me of a Chris Sale type,
yeah,
lefty, kind of throws it from that little angle right there. He's got great off speed. He understands. He's a really smart pitcher. He understands what he wants to do. He works on elevating the heater. He's got the change. He mixes eye levels. He comes right at you. Good pickoff move, holds on runners well. But Luke's a true professional. He understands what he's trying to do every single time he gets out there. And Luke would always approach you in the dugout about, hey, what are we trying? What do you see here? He'd always try to get my opinion, and this is what I'm trying to do. And just a dialogue with Matt Sweeney, Luke, and myself, I thought was excellent.
yeah. We have another fan question here on my phone on the speaker app. One of our fans wants to know, since being in Boston, would you say you looked up to Jason Varitek also?
Yeah, I definitely looked up to Jason Varitek. He was a guy definitely. My number one, the guy I looked up to the most is definitely Ryan. Ryan grew up 30 minutes away from me, 12-year big leaguer. He's just a Massachusetts kid playing my position in the big leagues for so long. But Tech's a great guy. He definitely did. Definitely had a great career. But yeah, all the catchers, I looked up to all catchers. It meant a lot to me that a guy who grew up 30 minutes from me had the career he did in the big leagues. So, but Tech was awesome.
Yeah, so talk about being part of Boston sports because it's tons of history and obviously everybody knows about the rivalry between Boston and New York. But talk about being from Boston and you lived through some of the big moments, the big sports
Warriors.
moments. Yeah,
Yeah,
go here.
Warriors.
So talk about that. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's just, growing up seeing every single sports team, I didn't know any better. I was like, oh, the Bruins are winning, the Celtics are winning, the Red Sox are winning, the Patriots are winning. I just thought winning was just something that like just happened, It's just okay, we're gonna go out and win, we're gonna go out and win. And then as I got older and as I got into sports, I'm like, wow, to win,
Yeah.
there's some luck, there's some right place, right time, there's some greatness, there's a lot of things that has to go right for a player in an organization to win. And just to see a guy like Tom Brady pick
Mhm.
199, and just to see him come in and just dominate out of nowhere. No one saw him come in. The guy worked for everything he had, and he went out there, and every single year is on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. And just to watch him put up years and the intensity of like Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce in 2008 for the Celtics, and seeing the Red Sox with that year with Johnny Gomes and David Ross and Pedroia and Big Poppy and stuff. That was amazing. It's just in the Bruins, it's just we were just winning left and right, and I was just so lucky to see that. And as I got a little older, I'm like, man, I don't know. that will ever, be ever again. But it was a great time to be a young kid growing up in the city and being around everything. I went to tons of games, and I just really appreciated seeing just the greatness kind of right in front of me and watching the Patriots now. And it's not even close to the same without Brady. And, but it's every organization has to rebuild, and it's what they'll hopefully do. But it shows you that to watch, a guy like Brady, a guy like Michael Jordan, a guy like Larry Bird is just they're generational players. And, it happened so fast where now they're done, and just like you kind of you're a little spoiled for a while seeing those guys play.
Another fan question here. So someone wants to know, who is the funniest teammate that you play with?
Funniest teammate I ever played with. Um, Funniest teammate. I'll give you a Trenton guy. I would probably give a shout out to Tony Fontana, Anthony Fontana. Anthony Fontana was my roommate in the draft league. He was one of our first basemen. He's an Italian kid from Long Island. Me and him had a lot of good laughs, a lot of good stories. He was a great Aunt Tony's a great player, comes from a great family, a nice girlfriend. Like everything is awesome what he does. He's going to be a great player. Hopefully, he has a good year coming up this year. I know he will. And he was a guy that you go to 0 for 4, 0 for 5, or had a bad day behind the plate, whatever happened, and you would have a conversation with him, and he would tell you everything would be all right, and tell you a story and laugh. But I spent a lot of time with Tony. Obviously, roommates in the draft league, and just throughout the season and stuff. I would say definitely he's up there for me. Really funny guy, but really good guy too.
Hmm. So tell our fans, take us back to one of the games you played with and played against. I interviewed there against Savannah Bananas.
Yeah,
So
man.
tell everyone about that experience. What was that like? That was a whole different atmosphere. It looked like the stadium was full. But talk about that experience and atmosphere.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience to be honest with you. It really wasn't like almost you're like an entertainer, not really a baseball player. All different rules, all different type of dancing and stuff. Definitely kind of definitely a little like strange, and obviously it didn't count for our statistics or didn't count for team win and everything. It was kind of just a exhibition game, and we had guys playing all over. I ended up pitching a little bit. Like it was just like it was kind of weird. It was really cool though. The Savannah Bananas really have a really big following, and it was kind of fun. A lot of guys enjoyed it. It was kind of a stress-free day for everybody. Everybody just kind of went out there, just did the best they could do, and just kind of really soak it in. But they have a crazy following, and it's amazing. They're going to be selling out some MLB stadiums this year, and really cool. Those guys are really cool, approachable. They talk to us what they do, and a lot of those guys are been former pros or former college players and stuff, so they understand what the stuff we're going through and stuff. But they're really talented. They're really talented on the dance moves, to the running, to the acting, to the playing, and they're really nice guys. So it was a great experience for us. It really was.
Yeah, so and also you guys did good with the rehearsal and all. And actually Wes told us on the show that he didn't expect that he didn't think that you guys were gonna play them. He thought the party animal was gonna play them. But when you guys got the final word that you were gonna play them, how long did it take you guys just to get rehearse everything in a span of like I don't know how long, but you guys are pretty good with the rehearsal.
Yeah, we kind of met up a little. Or we got to the park a little bit earlier the day that we played them, and they kind of explained. The president of the Bananas kind of explained all the rules to us, and we kind of went out there. We learned like kind of what they have a lot of different rules. You can steal first base. There's a time. There's no stepping out. There's just a lot. There's times always running. It's 2 hours. It's not 9 innings. Whenever that 2 hours is up, the game's over. They use a yellow ball. There's just like a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors that what's going on in a walk. You have to throw it to the middle of the infield as a catcher, and you got to get it around the whole entire infield and outfield. Everyone's got to touch it before the runner sprints to second base. So we learned all that stuff and some of the dance moves and stuff kind of before the game that day. But guys really enjoyed it. It was kind of light, and it was kind of really cool to watch all the fans. The fans are really into it on foul balls. If you hit a foul ball and the fan catches it, the batter's out. So
Mhm.
just to watch, foul balls, you wouldn't really think of anything when you're playing during the game. But now when a guy hits a foul ball, everyone's looking to see like, oh, is the fan going to catch it or not? So just everyone was so engaged in the game. Everyone was laughing, having a good time. A lot of families were there, and I don't think anybody had a bad time with that day.
Well, yeah. So we have another fan question here. They want to know, what did you learn in college that helped you get to this point now? One of our fans wants to know.
Yeah, honestly, the thing that I learned in college that probably got to pretty much where I'm at now was probably
Yeah.
when one door closes, I would probably say the next door is going to open. And usually, when that next door opens, it's usually a better door. But a lot of people can get sidetracked at the word no. A lot of people can, you're going to have some trials and tribulations, but it's a matter of how you get yourself back up off the floor and keep moving forward. And, a lot of these terms you hear before, but honestly, to live that and really stay true to that, it's a whole nother thing. And just understanding that, if you have a good support group in place and you do your best, everything will turn out for the best. But just kind of having the confidence that, what's coming down the line, it's going to be better for you, and just staying positive each day because there's going to be a lot of bad things that happen. It's the question is how can you react and how can you come back either in life or the game of baseball. So I'd probably just say that was really the most important thing for me.
Yeah, tell our fans about the Trent Thunder fan base, and they brought it every game, and obviously great fan base, and they support the team from day one, and then just talk about the fan base this year playing in front of them.
Yeah, the fan base there is awesome. They're really loyal. They sell out a lot. There's even your midweek games are packed, your weekends are packed. They have a lot of promotional nights and everything. The front office does a great job there. And it's just from everybody. It's just there's a following in the town, and people, love to come out to see the Thunder play. And we as players, we're trying to give them the best show as possible and win the most, and just be kind of positive people in the community, and just try to do the best that we can do each day, each night out. And some nights it doesn't go great, some nights it goes great. So you're just trying to put on the best show to be the best player you can be for them. But they're loyal. They really are. They're there for BP. A lot of those people, they're there early. They're there after the game asking for autographs. We had some fan interaction stuff where guys would go up and sign autographs before the games, and you get to know some of them. And just it was really cool just to be there and have everybody so intrigued with what had going on. And the whole operation there in Trenton is just unbelievable, all the way from the front office, the people that work in day-to-day operations, to the broadcast team, to our clubby, to our coaches. Everybody there is a first class person, and everybody it tries to make it easy for the player. And it's unbelievable what they do, and they're all very good at their jobs.
Yeah. We have another fan question here on the phone. They want to know if you were not playing baseball, what would you be doing now?
Oh man, I don't know. That would be really interesting. I don't know. I've never really. I've obviously thought about it, but it's just baseball's been my whole life since I've been like 4 or 5 years old, and through high school, through college, through now. So I've never really experienced a summer without baseball, a year without baseball and stuff. That'd probably be a good question. I'd probably be working at I don't know, probably an investment bank or finance or something in downtown Boston. Probably just hanging out with my friends and family, and just probably hanging out there, and probably working a day job, and not as fun as being a baseball player. But that's where probably I would be.
Yeah, so tell our fans, what was the experience like at being at Nashville, at the winter meetings, and you got the whole gist of it, and meeting with all these teams, and seeing our friend Julian there too. But what was it like meeting the teams though? That's the main thing for you, especially looking for a team. So what was that? What did you learn? Obviously being a free agent and meeting with these teams, and then telling about what about your